and which is derived of contact of the senses with sense objects. And happiness among the nurses, that which is based on inaction, laziness, etc. Now Krishna explains happiness in the mode of goodness is, what did Krishna say? Bitter in the beginning and what? Sweet in the end. And which wakes you up to self-realization. So someone may want to question, why is it bitter in the beginning? Bitter in the beginning in the sense, when we first are educated to follow spiritual discipline, chant the names of the Lord, study the scriptures, we find this an unpleasant request. Because we're so addicted to normal activities that when we have to give up any of this to engage in these activities, it looks painful. But then if you're fortunate enough to have spiritual association is very important. Just like they say, a man is known by the company he keeps. And the great sages have recommended that we should take advantage of spiritual association. So when you're fortunate enough to have spiritual association, then we are reminded about what is our higher priority. And then when we take time off to practice this, in the beginning it's a little painful because we have so many other attractions. But then if we pursue it, the same thing which is bitter at the beginning, later becomes sweet. You go for surgery, it's painful. But then when you recover from the disease, it becomes sweet. So Krishna says, happiness in the mode of goodness is sweet, they're bitter in the beginning and sweet in the end, provided it wakes you up to self-realization of realizing the real goal of life. And happiness in the mode of passion is sweet in the beginning and bitter in the end, and which is derived of contact of the senses with sense objects. So if you look at society today, by and large, they're pursuing a path in which we're trying to derive happiness for the senses with contact with sense objects. We engage in so many activities. In the beginning it's sweet, but then it becomes bitter, both from a material angle and a spiritual angle. So the Bhagavad Gita is directing us to act in a civilized manner. Today when we talk about a gentleman, we understand someone who dresses up nicely, someone who has nice education. But a real gentleman is what? A civilized person is one who understands the goal of life. One who understands that human life is a rare privilege and one who wants to use it for a happy ending. So it doesn't matter how hard you try in material world. Doesn't matter how much success you may obtain, material success you may realize. We have to bear in mind this is all temporary. Dukhalayam ashashatam. Krishna explains how everything is temporary and material life is nothing but full of misery. We can see that everything is temporary. So many big stars, politicians, businessmen have come and gone. And we can see that in spite of the best material arrangements, we can't stop birth, death, disease, old age. We can't stop anxieties caused by the mind, other entities. You can't stop natural disasters. If you look at the world history, you'll see that in the last 10, 20 years, the frequency of natural disasters has been far greater than before in history. What's the root cause? The root cause is forgetfulness of a relationship with the Lord. So Bhagavad Gita is preaching a life of action, but purified action. Now the question is, how do we purify ourselves? Just like a diseased person can be cured with the help of medicine. So similarly, the sages in the scriptures have given us a positive path by which we can get purified. For example, chanting of the holy names of the Lord. This is described as a supreme meditation. Sometimes people think meditation means to just close your eyes. Meditation actually means to remain connected to the Lord. In Satya Yuga, the lifespan was 100,000 years. And people could meditate for 60,000, 70,000 years. I'm sure you all heard of Valmiki, the compiler of the Ramayana. He was able to meditate for 16,000 years. Then came Treta Yuga, in which the duration got reduced 10 times to a maximum of 10,000 years. And in that age, the process of self-realization was performing elaborate sacrifices, in which genuine brahmanas were required, genuine ingredients like butter, milk, etc. were required. Next comes the Dwapara Yuga, in which the lifespan got reduced further 10 times to a maximum of 1,000 years, in which the recommended process was elaborate worship of the deity of the Lord in the temple. As the Dwapara Yuga comes, Kali Yuga, the age in which we are presently. The sages in Namashraya described that in Kali Yuga, the lifespan gets reduced, people will quarrelsome, spiritually lazy, misguided. And what's the maximum lifespan in Kali Yuga? We were reading the other day that the average age of the American has gone up to 78 years. Second highest in the world, after Japan, that has an average lifespan of 83 years. So even if you live for 78 years, beyond a certain age, even though you're living a heavily diseased life. So in Kali Yuga, you can see people are misguided, unfortunate, quarrelsome. So the question is, how do we achieve our ultimate goal, which is to develop love of God and to get purified? So the sages have recommended chanting of the holy names of the Lord. The scriptures have said that the same benefit can be derived in Kali Yuga by chanting the holy names that in previous ages could be derived by other means of self-realization. So the Supreme Lord has invested all his energies in the holy name. It is said that in Kali Yuga is nothing but an ocean of vice. But there is one benediction in this age, that is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Now, those of you who have been connected to ISKCON may have experienced, it doesn't matter who you here meet, you're always requested to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Mantra means a chant that can give you peace of mind. And we're all searching for peace. There was a survey done a few years ago in the United States of America, where people were asked the question, what is it that you want in life that money can't buy? If you analyze, money can virtually buy everything. If you have money, you can even get political power. But the number one answer was peace of mind. So we're all searching for peace of mind. We think that only if I get a little bit more success, I'm going to get peace of mind. Only if I can conquer a little bit more, I'll get peace of mind. But the reality is, you can't get peace of mind by achieving material goals.